Aloha. So guys, the hub. Hello everybody. Alright. Ikaika, Phil, and Andrew. Hello everybody. We are at the hub today. The hub is open from 2 to 6 p.m. We have so much stuff here at the hub. Check it out. Some new pallets came in. Vanilla, soy. We have tons of, you know, let me see if I can go walk around. So hello everybody, we're at the hub. The hub will be open for till 6 o'clock, but this is we have in stock today. Non-dairy, organic, unsweetened almond, vanilla, unreal. This is like milk, soy, non-dairy, soy, non-dairy, vanilla, water. Alright guys, so we have at the hub pork and beans, chicken seed, spam. Look at that. Chicken breast. Famous Hawaiian steak. Vienna sausage. Hawaiian steak. Sliced carrots. Beans. Sweet greens. Vegetarian vegetable soup. And all kinds of stuff. And also this. Yep. So come on down. We're at the hub. We're open. We're open till 6 o'clock. So we're gonna do a small live on the eruption and what's happening with the eruption. Any new developments, but just to let you guys know, Alaska is erupting right now. With some major eruption in Alaska. Pretty cool. I'm not too sure what mountain it is, but yeah, so okay, Phil, what's going on? Do you see anything that is happening with on the meters and at HVO and all that kind of stuff?
There's really not a whole lot happening right now. It's pretty quiet.
Pretty quiet.
There might be some slight signal of possible inflation, but it's such a small signal that it's still inconclusive. It could just be something else, you know.
Rain, could be rain.
Could be rain, adjustment of the ground, the water moving, groundwater moving through there. It's not moving up or down very much. It's moving up slightly, but it's not really moving in very much. So
another thing too that we want to talk about is that I wanted to ask you. There's a quite inflation of earthquakes near the summit and around the south flank. Some people have been reporting it in Kalapana area. Some is in Honua, some is in Volcano. Can you kind of justify what's going on? The earthquakes there?
Well, so yeah, I mean, there has been a little bit of an uptick in earthquakes that everyone's noticed. It hasn't been anything alarming. Yeah, it's not like it's any kind of indication of an eruption. You know, it's kind of back to the same levels as it used to be before. And the South Flank was always having earthquakes all the time. Little ones might have a little bit more than average now, but that's not surprising given how much it moved in the last several months.
Right.
So it seems like some days, like I think today in particular, there wasn't that many. Yesterday there was a whole bunch.
Yeah,
it kind of alternates here and there. You know, trying to find Dane had a post on Hawaii Tracker that showed some of the earthquake stuff. Let's see if I can find that for you guys here.
So yeah, we've been seeing a lot of earthquakes there, and also just to let everybody know, so Honua been going to Kuokala, helping out with whatever we can with Kuokala Elementary and the school, and we have donated some water bottles. So today we donated a purifier, Berkeley's purifier. So 2 purifiers, and trying to see if when I went in that the classrooms there, the classroom was super hot, and So we're trying to see if we can donate some air conditioning for these kids there. But here's back to Philip.
Yeah, so Dane Puna, Hawaii Tracker, put this plot together. I was going to show you guys here. And actually wrote down for like over about the last month or so how many earthquakes we've had. And he's broken it down kind of all together in blue, Halemaumau area only in red, Pahala area in yellow, and Lower East Rift Zone down where we are in green, right? So for the last month, you can see, you know, like some of the earthquakes were really quite a lot. That's what leads it off here. And then kind of since then, it's been doing some wiggling. Some days are higher and lower. There's some averaging happening here between the days, but we basically can kind of see it goes up. Like there's a little bump right here at the bottom that we're looking at, right there. But you know, it's really not that big of a change in the grand scheme of things. We still had more about a month ago than we have now. That's one way to look at it. So yeah, you know, kind of see there are times when there was like more, then less, and more. You know, so definitely climbing overall. Let's see, we're on upward trends overall. So you know, to me, that basically, you know, it's hard to say exactly what they mean, you know, as a whole. But I would say, if anything, there's pressure at the volcano. Magma is still coming in deep down, and it's just working its way through, pressurizing the system. It's going to come up at some point somewhere. I still think most likely the summit, but that's another one of those wait and see kind of things.
Wow, so, you know, also too, you know, some of these earthquakes could be because of the earth is just settling down and probably settling into place.
Yeah. So you know, we have kind of this idea that the earth has like a resting state, but it's really been moving all the time.
Right.
So it's, you know, moving all the time means there's going to be some background amount of earthquakes happening just kind of from that all the time. So it never goes back to quiet, basically. So that's not a reasonable thing to expect.
But another thing too, do you have any, reports or history reports of the last eruption that happened like this in 1955 and 1960, and what was the trend of the earthquakes after the eruption?
I've got to look at the details exactly, but you know, I've been thinking this eruption not so much like 55 and 60 anymore, because the summit collapse we've had now has been so different from those two eruptions. I mean, the last eruption that was like this, I think, is probably 1790. And that's what makes it really hard to say, you know, like, well, we didn't have the seismometers in place then to say what the earthquakes were really like. You know, I mean, people talk about how there were lots of earthquakes, you know, talk about how things happen. We don't even know if the eruption in 1790 that happened down here in Puna happened before or after the summit explosions.
Right.
That's how little we know, much less how many earthquakes there were, what month, or what, you know, what order was in. You know, that's what makes it really hard. So we could look 55, look at 60, you know, 55 and 60. There was an era in 1960, 1955, where we had maybe 3 months of not a whole lot going on, kind of flatline, not a whole lot of earthquakes, and inflation begins, more earthquakes, kind of accompanying that. And a few months after that, popped up a little lava lake in the rubble of Halemaumau, and from there, you know, kind of went back to what we consider normal, with lava coming up, and earthquakes moving around, kind of resettling, readjusting all the time, like that. So, you know, this period of quiet that we're in now is really just like a moment in time where it's not going to stay quiet forever. So pick back up at some point, probably sooner than later. And if not sooner than later, then great. Then we're happy to be wrong about that, and have extra time to deal with, prepare, adjust, what have you. But basically, there's a period of quiet. At some point, it's going to pick back up. Most likely at the summit, I think. The question still remains: when it does that, it can somehow work its way back in the rift zone. And then there's a second question that's kind of been building since then, which is, if it goes back in the rift zone, can it get past Pu'o'o again and get back to Leilani?
Right. That's a
whole
question. Yeah.
Second phase of that one option as well, because we know that Pu'o'o is easier to get to, and we've seen signs of Pu'o'o inflating off and on in the middle of the rain, not really conclusive either.
Right.
Leilani the whole time hasn't shown any of that. So whatever's happening at Pu'o'o is not affecting Leilani, regardless of whether it's rain induced or not.
Right.
So you have to kind of question whether that connection is really big enough that if lava came back to Pu'o'o, could it still get back to Leilani or not? Still unknown. It could be yes, could be no.
So. As of right now, it doesn't seem like there's any lava at this point. There's some glowing spots I see. Could it be? I was thinking, those glowing spots, those skylights, even with the Pu'o'o eruption of 61G. After Pu'o'o's, the intrusion of Pu'o'o, those skylights, they used to pretty much supply a lot of the lava that was going down the Pali, was still very much red for a couple weeks. after the intrusion, and there was no lava. So that could be what we are seeing.
So the lava that was at the actual surface has drained back down. I think whatever gas that kind of pushed it up was able to kind of escape around it, push it up, kind of lobed it out. It flowed out a little bit into the crater. And then when the bubble essentially burped out, that made space. The lava kind of starts draining back, collapsing back into the hole, and it's still there. It's not very far underground. It can't be more than a couple hundred feet. But that's deep enough that you wouldn't see it glowing. It can start forming a crust down there, and unless the pressure changes again for another bubble, then we're probably not going to see that again.
Okay.
What the signals we see now, I'll be surprised if that happens again to that size, that much lava coming out and scattering. It could happen. That would tell us something.
And the emissions from Fissure 8. What is the emission right now?
The last one they said to measure, I think it was on the 11th. They said it was barely detectable by the instrument. Kind of going back to what Frank Trudeau said at the meeting, USGS guy said at the meeting. Our noses can smell it better than the instruments can record it at this point. So you can't detect it with the instrument, but you can smell. You know it's there because you can smell it.
Right.
But it's such a low level that the actual scientific monitor can't detect it, even though your nose is the best monitor you get, does detect it, and we know it's there, but it's not nearly as much, right, as it was before. So I think their threshold is something like less than 20 tons of SO2 per day,
right.
Which is a lot. Imagine 20 tons of SO2. If that was in your house, you'd be suffocating. But it's
not that much.
It's not, it was putting out up to like 50,000 tons a day before, through the middle of the eruption, compared to 20.
Even Puo was doing 600, 300 to 600 tons.
Yeah, exactly. Even doing all this, exactly. Yeah. And at peak days, Puo was putting out 2,000 tons a day before the 2007 opening of the summit. It was putting out 2,000 tons a day out of Puo as well. So that's 1/100th of that is what's coming out from Leilani now. Enough to smell, but not enough to really detect, and not really that big a hazard in the grand scheme of things.
So, would you consider Fissure 8 done?
Well, no, I mean, today it's done, but I'm,
Where's John when we need him?
We need someone to disagree, huh? No, so I mean, I don't think it's. It may still glow, it may still spatter a little more. I don't think it's going to put out any big flow anymore.
Yeah, like how it was, no way.
Yeah, not unless we see something else happen first. That's the key thing, Unless something else happens first, whether it's a big earthquake, a big inflation signal, a big emission of gas, like something has to happen to change what we got going on now, to even have the potential to have it erupt again.
Right.
And so we don't see that potential yet. So could it happen? Yes, but not with one step. You need at least two different things to happen. Some signal of gas or inflation or something like that, and then maybe after that you might take the sale, or maybe some lava coming out again. But there's no sign of that at all. And I personally don't see it happening. I think that the most likely thing is comes back up at the summit, because that's where the weakest rock is, basically.
Right.
All right.
Anything else on the eruption here?
That's mostly it. If you want to look at the earthquakes just today, I can show you.
Yeah, let's check out the earthquakes today.
So here's the earthquakes just today. The sun just came out from behind a cloud. So there's not a whole bunch.
Volcano.
There's one up at the summit. Yeah, there's one in the Mauna Loa summit. Over here, there's one in the Pahala. Okay, two in the Pahala over here. Two deep ones. And looking at the
There's one
East
on
flank,
the East Rift.
there's one in the East Rift. Yeah, that's one day. So let's do our 7 days. Okay. 7 days. So here's over 7 days, and or a similar pattern. There's the summit ones,
South flank
ones, and deep Pahala ones. Yeah, and John and I did an update last week. I don't know if you saw it. It was a long one, but we actually drew out all the diagrams of the earthquakes, how it looks like to slice through it, what depths they're all happening at, how it all kind of works together, and it's nothing unusual happening, basically. By the way. So yeah, that's an earthquake. There's not a whole lot of change.
Not a whole lot.
Thankful for that today.
So, with that being said, that's the eruption update. Still very much active. There's a lot of steam coming out of all the fissures. I don't know if you've been seeing a lot of drone footage of the Fissure 8 and all the fissures due east of Fissure 8 and also due west of Fissure 8. There's still a lot of steam and still activity happening. Not only just lava, just the eruption
Right,
phase.
steam,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could go on for a while, right? There could be 5 steam events on the highway over here. We're there for 60 years, right?
Right.
So, I mean, it's not going to be 60 years, the entire line like that, but some part of it will probably be doing that for a while, you know.
All right. So, a couple things that we want to talk about. There's a big talk right now about a video that was made in Kapoho. I'm not too sure what. I watched the video a couple times, and yes, answer your question, Michael. Drones are still illegal. They still have the TFR, but people in Leilani need information every day. Apparently, you know, there's people moving back in, people moving back. That's the only house. So this is my take on it. You know, drones are illegal. FAA say it's illegal, but the people that live next to, and I talked to a couple people about it, and people that live a couple streets away from Fisher 8. Okay, and some people say, why do they want to stay at their home? Well, apparently that is their only home. That is their only home that they have, and they were renting for 3 months to 4 months, renting, and the rent was about $1,200. So $1,000 to $1,200. So you multiply that by 4. That's, you know, almost $5,000 worth of rent.
Yeah, and that's expensive rent for here. It's not like regular rent. It's vacation rental places. The only places left to rent.
Yeah.
So they're getting charged
So
not regular rent.
Yeah. So
for
all
the
these
area,
people,
yeah.
you could imagine at least 500 families trying to rent a house at one given time. All those rentals are gone, pretty much. So these guys, they don't want to pay that $1,200, so they move back. For them to have a sense of security, giving them the information that they need every day, every week, to know that Fisher 8 is not waking up or not doing anything, because as of right now, there is, how you can say it, there is no, USGS is not flying their drones or anything right now, or flying helicopters. So, you know, they look towards the community for guidance and awareness of what's happening around them in Leilani. So, but the TFR is still there. It is going to be until, I think it's September 26th, if I'm not mistaken, or 25th. Not too sure. I got to check on that. But you know, forgiving that, you know, that's why I kind of you know, post those drone footages, because people around want to know what's going on with their community, and if his Fisher 8 is still active. So another thing too that we want to talk about is there's a couple things that is happening in our community, and one thing that is pretty much in the talk of the town is there's a video of a person in Kapoho in one of those ponds, and there's a lot of uproaring about what's happening in the Kapoho ponds, and there's a video that you can buy it, $20 to watch it.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I just seen it today. No, I didn't buy it, but there's a trailer out for it, and it's, you know, it's the talk of the town right now. So we want to address that and see what people think about that kind of stuff, and we're gonna have more of those activities happening. Anything else, Phil?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of thing. Yeah, I don't want to encourage that kind of thing happening, right? So everyone who's giving this person money is encouraging a person to keep doing more of this, right? So.
Yeah. You want to pull it up?
No, I don't.
You might get excited. No, I'm not joking. But anyways, thank you for tuning in. So another thing too, if you guys don't have your goods, the hub is open till 6 o'clock. come grab your goods. Other than that, meet us on Friday. We'll be open again, and come grab as much goods as you need. So other than that, hello everybody, and what we like to say is stay classy, Puna. Aloha.